NORAD takes calls from kids around the world awaiting Santa. File, in this December 24, 2014, file photo, NORAD and US Northcom Chief of Staff My. General Charles D. Lucky joins other volunteers taking phone calls from children around the world asking where Santa is and when he will deliver presents to their homes, inside a phone-in center during the annual NORAD Tracks Santa operation, at the North American Aerospace Defense Command, at PETERSON Air Force Base, Colo. Hundreds of volunteers are on the phones at the base, answering questions from eager kids who want to know where Santa is on his Christmas Eve travels. PETERSON Air Force Base, Colo. AP. Hundreds of volunteers at an Air Force base in Colorado were answering questions on Sunday from eager children who wanted to know where Santa was on his Christmas Eve travels. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump also pitched in and took calls for the NORAD Tracks Santa program from their Florida estate. It is the 62nd year for the wildly popular program run by the U.S. and Canadian militaries. The toll-free telephone number for NORAD Tracks Santa is 877-HI-NORAD or 877-446-6723. About 1,500 volunteers answer the phones and shifts throughout Christmas Eve. The website is www.noradsanta.org, with updates offered in a number of languages in addition to English. Updates are also posted on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. New this year, Amazon's voice-activated computer service Alexa will be relaying NORAD Tracks Santa updates through the Echo device once the function has been enabled. How it started. A Colorado Springs newspaper ran an ad in 1955 inviting children to call Santa, but mistakenly ran the phone number for the hotline at the Continental Air Defense Command, which was tasked with monitoring the skies for a possible nuclear attack by the Soviet Union. Children began calling, and the CONADE staff happily played along. The program is now run by CONADE's successor, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, a U.S.-Canadian command that monitors the skies over both countries. By the numbers. Last year, NORAD Tracks Santa received nearly 154,200 phone calls and drew 10.7 million unique visitors to its website. It had 1.8 million Facebook followers, 382,000 YouTube views, and 177,000 Twitter followers. Despite all those ways to track Santa, the phones have been ringing non-stop all day with kids from as far away as Japan and the United Kingdom asking where Santa is and when he will be at their house. NORAD spokesman Captain Chase McFarland. Each volunteer was averaging about 80 calls an hour, he said. Many callers have also been asking whether there is a special food they should leave for Santa, he said, and volunteers have been telling them that he'll eat anything they leave out. He's not a picky eater, McFarland said. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here. Trump's busy Christmas Eve calls to troops. Talk of Santa. Palm Beach, Florida. President Donald Trump's first Christmas Eve in office was a busy one that unfolded like this tweet against perceived adversaries: cheer U.S. troops spending the holiday overseas, play golf, chat with children anxious to know when Santa would get to their homes, and eat dinner with the family. Today and every day, we're incredibly thankful for you and for your families, Trump told the troops via video hookup from his Florida estate, where he is spending the holidays with his family. Your families have been tremendous. Always underappreciated, the military families. The greatest people on earth. Trump briefly addressed members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps and Coast Guard stationed in Qatar, Kuwait and Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and patrolling the Straits of Hormuz in the Middle East. Vice President Mike Pence rallied U.S. troops stationed in Afghanistan during a surprise visit last week. Trump complimented each branch of the armed forces, starting with the Army's Iron Brigade combat team in Kuwait, which he said is performing a vital mission by partnering with the Iraqi, Kuwaiti, Saudi Arabian and Jordanian armies. He said a Kuwait-based, Marine Corps Air Ground Task Force has provided more than 4,000 flight hours of close air support in the campaign against the Islamic State group, and he thanked sailors aboard the USS Sampson for defending high-value assets in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump also singled out the Air Force's 69th Expeditionary Bomb Squadron in Qatar for engaging more than 700 ISIL Taliban targets in 5 separate countries and winning 2 trophies in an Air Force bomb competition. He showered the most praise on the Coast Guard, which impressed him with its rescue operations during a devastating hurricane season. You've done such an incredible job in Texas and Florida and Puerto Rico, Trump said. Many Republicans are very happy, but, I have to tell you, the people of Florida, Texas, Puerto Rico and lots of other states are even more happy. What a job you've done. Saved thousands and thousands of lives. Puerto Ricans, however, may quibble with the president's assessment of their state of mind. Power generation on the U.S. territory is at 65%, with 9 of Puerto Rico's 78 municipalities still completely in the dark more than 3 months after Hurricane Maria walloped the island. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has estimated power will not be fully restored across Puerto Rico until May. More than 200,000 homes were damaged and more than 30,000 people have lost their jobs, sparking an exodus of more than 200,000 Puerto Ricans to Florida alone. In closing, Trump offered thanks to those who are spending time away from their families to defend all of our families, our freedoms and our pride. Every American heart is thankful to you and we're asking God to watch over you and to watch over your families, he said, before he asked journalists to leave the room so he could begin answering any service member questions. Trump began the day by tweeting against a top FBI official he has suggested is biased against him, as well as the news media. The president also spent several hours playing golf at his private club in West Palm Beach. Later Sunday, the president and First Lady Melania Trump fielded calls from children eager to know how soon Santa Claus would get to their homes. Trump and his wife engaged callers on separate telephones at their Mar-a-Lago estate as they sat in chairs on opposite sides of a large Christmas tree. The calls came by way of a Santa tracking program run for more than 60 years by the North American Aerospace Defense Command. Journalists could only hear the president's side of the conversations. Trump told a caller from Mississippi that the state is great and predicted that Santa is going to treat you very well. He offered encouragement when a caller from Virginia wanted to find building blocks under the Christmas tree. Trump, who made his name and fortune building things, said that's what I always liked, too. Santa moves very quickly. He'll be at your house very late at night when you're sleeping, Trump said. Trump also attended Christmas Eve dinner with family members. President Donald Trump points to the video screen during a Christmas Eve video teleconference with members of the military at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, Sunday, December 24, 2017. Carolyn Castor, AP Photo. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here. Trump's wish for peace follows a weekend of Twitter needling. President Donald Trump's Christmas wishes include a peaceful America, he said while taking phone calls from children tracking the global travels of Santa's sleigh, although the president's social media activities suggested otherwise. I think we want peace. What do you think? Peace for the country, Trump told a young boy. WEVE got prosperity. Now we want peace, the president said taking children's calls from the gilded and tiled living room of Mar-a-Lago, his Palm Beach, Florida, club and home. The boy had told the president that his Christmas wish was for his sick grandmother to return home from the hospital. That's better than asking for some toy or something, right? Trump responded, before sharing his own ambitious wish. The president and First Lady Melania Trump spent some time Sunday answering calls from kids to the Santa tracker run by the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, following a Christmas Eve tradition of other recent first couples. The president made classically big, Trumpian promises to the kids, telling one you'll wake up and have the greatest gifts. To another, Trump said, I'll make sure that Santa is going to treat you well. Really well. The best has ever treated you. Earlier, the president held a teleconference with members of the U.S. military stationed in Kuwait, Qatar, the Strait of Hormuz, and Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. He also played golf at his course in West Palm Beach, White House officials confirmed. Trump, 71, who has 9 grandchildren of his own, took on a jovial tone, telling one child that he too liked playing with building blocks, perhaps a reference to his career as a real estate developer. Trump's public voice, via Twitter, has been more antagonistic this holiday weekend. Trump posted several tweets critical of Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe, who reportedly plans to retire in early 2018 after being embroiled in controversies including his wife's receipt of campaign contributions from Virginia's Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe, a longtime ally of Bill and Hillary Clinton. He also tweeted criticisms Sunday of the fake news, not long after wishing journalists covering him this weekend a great holiday and a great Christmas. The president raised eyebrows by retweeting an image posted by Twitter user Oregon4Trump. The photograph depicts Trump in a limousine with what appears to be a squashed bug carrying the CNN logo on the sole of his shoe. In September, Trump retweeted, and later deleted, a cartoon depicting a Trump train locomotive running over a CNN reporter. And in July, Trump tweeted a video of himself during which he wrestles a man in a suit whose face has been replaced by a CNN logo. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here.